Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. To make this sweater you will need a weight 4 yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. In this tutorial I make a size small. For all other sizes check out my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. So this is the yarn I used. It's Red Heart Soft. I used about 5 to 6 balls of this for a size small. So both the front panel and the back panel are the exact same. So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So begin by chaining 8. Single crochet into the second chain from the hook and then single crochet into every chain to the end. At the end of the row, chain 1 and then turn your work, and now we're going to be working into the back loop of every stitch. So into that very first stitch, place 1 single crochet working into the back loop, and then continue that all the way to the end. So we're going to repeat this row until we have a total of 62 rows completed. So here we're going to just chain 1 and then turn our work and then repeat that row. We're going to single crochet into the back loop of every stitch and keep going until you have a total of 62 rows. So next we're going to be working on this long edge and we're going to place 62 half double crochet. So we're going to chain 1 and then half double crochet all the way across until we have a total of 62 half double crochets completed. So once you have your 62 half double crochets, we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work, and we're going to repeat that row. We're going to half double crochet all the way across, and then we're going to do one more row of half double crochet. So in total you will have 3 rows of half double crochets completed. So now we have our 3 rows of half double crochet completed. Our next row we're going to chain 3. This counts as our first double crochet. Turn your work. So that counts as our first stitch, so we're going to skip that stitch and the next, and then into that third space over we're going to place 1 double crochet. And then we're going to go back into that skipped stitch. So this stitch right here, we're going to place 1 double crochet, but we're going to cross over this last double crochet. So that's our first crossed double crochet stitch completed. So now we're going to skip the next stitch and then place 1 double crochet into the next. Then we're going to go back into that skipped stitch and place our second double crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way across. We're going to skip our next space and then work into the next, place 1 double crochet, then double crochet back into that skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across. So here we are at the end of the row. You should have 3 stitches remaining. So skip the next stitch, double crochet into the stitch after. Then we're going to double crochet back into that skipped stitch. So now you have 1 stitch left. So place 1 double crochet into that stitch. So those 4 rows form the pattern of our sweater. So we're just going to repeat those rows. We're going to do 3 rows of half double crochet and then the 1 row of our crossed doubles. So for the next row, chain 1 and then half double crochet into every stitch. We're going to do 3 rows in total of half double crochet. And then we're going to do the 1 row of our crossed doubles. So we're going to chain 3, turn our work. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, so skip that first space and the next, and then into that next space make 1 double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into that skipped stitch. Skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, then double crochet back into that skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across. So here we are towards the end. We're going to skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, then we're going to double crochet back into that skipped stitch. So now we have 1 stitch remaining, so into that stitch place 1 double crochet. So repeat those 4 rows over and over again until you have a total of 44 rows completed. If you want your sweater longer, just add more rows, but just make sure that you end on a crossed double crochet row. So here I have my 44 rows completed. Now we're going to start working on our neckline. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to half double crochet into the next 18 stitches. So once you have your 18 half double crochets completed, we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work and then half double crochet back along those 18 stitches. And then at the end of this row, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then do 1 more row of half double crochets. So altogether you're going to have 3 rows of half double crochets. So here I have my 3 rows of half double crochets completed. So now we're just going to fasten off, leave a long tail, and then just cut your yarn. For the other side, we're just going to count 18 stitches in and then attach our yarn. Then we're going to insert our hook, pull our yarn through, chain 1, then place our first half double crochet into that same stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet into the next 17 stitches. So our last half double crochet will be placed on top of this chain 3. So once you reach the end of this row, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then half double crochet all the way across, and you're going to do another row of half double crochet after that. So altogether you're going to have 3 rows of half double crochet. Then we're going to fasten off and leave a long tail. And then we're going to repeat this entire process one more time, so both the front panel and the back panel are the exact same. So for the sleeve, we're going to chain 8, we're going to single crochet into that second chain from the hook, and then single crochet into every chain to the end. At the end of this row, we're going to chain 1, then turn our work, then we're going to single crochet into the back loop of every stitch. And we're going to repeat this row over and over again until we have a total of 34 rows completed. So now we should have 34 rows completed. We're going to start working along the long edge, just right here, and we're going to place 36 half double crochet. So chain 1, and then 36 half double crochet all the way across. So at the end of this row, we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work, and then half double crochet into every stitch all the way across. So for the next row, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then we're going to place 2 half double crochet into that very first stitch. Then we're going to place 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way across until we reach the second last stitch. So here we are at the end, we have 1 stitch left, so into that stitch place 2 half double crochet. For the next row, chain 3, turn our work. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, so skip that stitch and the next, and into that third stitch over, place 1 double crochet, Then place 1 double crochet into that skipped stitch and repeat across. We're going to skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across. At the end of the row, we're going to place 1 double crochet into that last stitch. Now for the next row, chain 1 and then turn your work, and into that very first stitch we're going to place 2 half double crochet. Then place 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way across until you reach your second last stitch. So here we are at the end. Our last stitch is this chain 3. So on top of that chain 3, place 2 half double crochet. For the next row, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then place 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way across. For the next row, chain 1 and then turn your work. Into that very first stitch, place 2 half double crochet. And then place 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way across until you reach your second last stitch. Into that very last stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet. So now you should have a total of 42 half double crochet. So now we're going to stop increasing and we're going to go back to our original pattern. We're going to chain 3, turn our work. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, so skip that stitch and the next. Into the third stitch, place 1 double crochet, then double crochet into that skipped stitch, and repeat that all the way across. Skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch, and repeat that all the way across. At the end of the row, place 1 double crochet into that last stitch. So now you're going to do 3 rows of half double crochet and then 1 row of crossed double crochets, and repeat those 4 rows over and over again until your entire sleeve measures 17 inches. And then you're going to fasten off and leave a long tail. Now you're going to lay your front panel on top of your back panel, and with your yarn needle we're going to sew across each shoulder. Then we're going to lay the entire piece out flat with the wrong side facing up. Then we're going to grab a sleeve and mark that center stitch with a stitch marker, and then connect that to the shoulder seam. So line your stitch marker with the shoulder seam and then sew all the way across. And then you're going to repeat on the other side. Then you're going to fold your sweater over and you're going to sew down along the sleeve and down along the side, and repeat that on the other side as well. Now we're going to turn our sweater the right side out, and then we're going to attach our yarn to the corner of our neckline just right there, and we're going to single crochet all the way around. So insert your hook, pull your yarn through, chain one, and then single crochet all the way around your neckline. So once you've single crocheted all the way around your neckline, you're going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet just to close the round. Now we're going to chain 6, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet into each of the next 4 chains. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 single crochet on the neckline. Now turn your work slightly, and we're going to skip over those last 2 slip stitches, and we're going to be working into the back loop of the next 5 single crochet. So place 1 single crochet into the back loop of the next 5 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, then place 1 single crochet into each of the next 5 single crochets, but working into the back loop only. Then slip stitch into each of the next 2 single crochet on the neckline. So you're going to repeat that pattern. You're going to turn your work, you're going to skip over those last 2 slip stitches, then you're going to make 5 single crochet working into the back loop only. Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, make 5 single crochet working into the back loop only, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 single crochet on the neckline. And you're going to repeat that all the way around the entire neckline of your sweater. So when you've reached all the way around your neckline, we're going to fasten off and leave a long tail, and with your tail and your yarn needle we're going to sew these 2 ends together. And that's your sweater completed. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget the free written pattern will be on my blog, crochetwithcarrie.com. If there's anything you'd like to see in the future, just leave a comment down below. Until next time, take care.